Hello. Thank you guys for coming to our Field Ops webinar series. This is the first one ever at Bain Welker. With this, we're going to do a series for the next 6 months or 5 months of different things about Field Ops, learning it, going through it. With that, today we're focusing on post-harvest data. And my name is Whitney Welker. I am the Precision Data Specialist here at Bain Welker. You can contact me after the meeting via my email, whitney.welker@bainwelker.com, bain-welker.com. But a little bit back about me, grew up on a family farm, got into agriculture, started here at Bain Welker in October 2022 with the data specialist role, and has just continued forward and watch it grow through field ops to be field ops and where it is. So to hang out, and don't be afraid to ask questions or reach out to me or your precision farming specialist after the event. So what is field ops? So this is what the landing pages of field ops event screen looks like. This is where you would create an account or sign in, but let's dive into that. So what is field ops? It's a redesigned AFS Connect platform for your agronomic data and your fleet management and fleet data. With this, it is free. It is free to create an account. Super easy. You create your account, get an email, click that link in the email, then you'll be able to sign in and we can get started. With this, over the next couple months, you'll see different cool features in here, and you can definitely have me or Aaliyah come out and we can help personalize field ops to you and your operation. So how do we access field ops? So you can access field ops through fieldops.caseih.com. When I come out to your farm, I will typically bookmark the field ops to your tab, so then you can access it easier. You don't have to type that in every time. If you do have New Holland branded, you just do the fieldops.newholland.com. So with field ops, we talked about fleet management. To add machines into your account, we need the serial numbers. I prefer pictures because there could be typos, stuff like that in a text message. Pictures is what it actually is. I need your field ops account email, so the username you type in every time, and your preferred Bain Welker store location, so where you typically do service and buy your parts from. Once we add that machine, so you'll send me all that information. Once we add that machine into your field ops account, you'll have this pop up and you will accept the agreement for telematics. Telematics is the transfer of data from machine to field ops and then from field ops to the machine. So with that telematics data transfer, we can do over the air file upload, or we can do upload through USB. So 1 second. When we log into our field ops account, let me go to my personal one. If you're just getting started, what I recommend is going to your initials on the top right corner, go to preferences, and make sure we have show unbounded data. So when you get started, if you do not have boundaries, or you might not have boundaries for all your fields, this will help bring in all the data before we upload it in. So then we go to the arrows, top right corner, file upload, and then we choose our file type. So Case IH is going to be our Pro 700s, Pro 700 Pluses, and Pro 1200s. And then here's our other offerings of displays. If you don't see anything here, we do have third-party data. And this is our supported displays that we can bring in. So we go through here, Ag Leader Precision Planting is in here. The other day, I did upload a Raven file for CR12 for seeding. So I did that through third party because that's the best way to do it. So once we figure out which display we need to upload, so third party Case John Deere, we'll just go in, select our file. It must be a zip file, so has a little zipper across it. If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out and call. So once that starts processing, you will have a pop-up that looks like this for Case data, John Deere data, third-party data. Sometimes this pops up, but if it does, It's either 3 or 5 boxes. Check mark them all, more the merrier, and get going. If you did edit your field boundaries, this is where you want to override it, but you don't have to. So once you check mark it all, you'll have a screen with a pop-up here, and then you'll just sit, grab some coffee, and let it process in. So once we upload that data in, it came over the air or through telematics or through USB, we'll jump to the account. So here I am linked to multiple different accounts. The linked accounts is great. You can have your dealer linked to it, agronomist, any trusted advisors. Super easy. We go to setup, company, linked accounts, and then this is where we just add it here. You type in your guest email, and then you give yourself the access. So read write gives you permissions to edit, so that person you're adding can edit. Read only is just so they can view the account, but they can't change anything. So let's go jump in the account and view the data. So so we're in this account. We can see some data in here. We'll go to demo data. So first off, if the change of the year is coming, New Year's is coming. So if we're going to look back on 2025 data, make sure you always click the right season, because it always stumps me of going back and looking, and it's going to be on 2026 in January. So best practice, do select all seasons. We'll select on our field, and then check mark the layer you'd like to view. So automatically it pops up our dry yield and a legend. We can also go through here, uncheck things, look at varieties. If you have multiple varieties, we can select all of them. We could also layer them if you want and do a transparency. We could go in here. Well, you gotta only select one layer though. Go in here, click the 3 dots, and create a report. So if you want a single report, we can do it this way. But if you have multiple fields, I'm going to show you later how to do run a big report. So there's that. Also, if you do need to export this raw data out, we have the option of going to the 3 dots, export sublayers. And exporting these sublayers out, you can choose what you want to send, and it will be in a shapefile. So the data you want, we can put that in there. So that's one way you can grab those layers. Another way to grab the raw data out was going to the gear, go to files. So package files is for your Pro 1200, and we'll start with that first. We'll package our files, and then file type, so ISO XML for the Pro 1200. We're going to have the source information, so we choose the machine we want. We give it a name, and then we select a date. Once you package those files, it'll tell you to wait a minute, and then you'll be able to take that raw data and then download it for your personal use. If you have a Pro 700, you'll be able to access the data in master files. So your harvest data, Pro 700 harvest data should be in master files. You can also look at other data files to find raw data too in here, and you can pick and choose the dates. But the easiest way to grab the data would be through package files. So we talked about generating a single yield map. Now we're going to go to analysis, and this is how you can do bulk reports. This is our analysis page. Up here, I am going to change the grower. When we change the grower, we can go, we're going to select the correct year, and then it automatically changes that date range. So, starting January 2026, make sure that you have the correct year when generating reports, because they'll pop up and say there's nothing there. So we select on some fields. So if we go here, we click harvest and we view PDF, we can get just a summary report for every field of varieties, what happened, and what's going on. And then at the very bottom, you'll be able to pull like a summary of each variety, stuff like that. So depends on how much you want to dive into it. We can also go change it from harvest to layers. And when you change it to harvest from layers, this does take a while. So if you have some time, it's great. But here we're gonna just select like 5 fields. So then you can choose your layer type. So I'm gonna do harvest. Then we have sub layers and then varieties. So you can pick and choose what you want to see in here. Does take a moment. And so that single layer report we created, this is how you can produce a bunch of them. So you just go through them, look at them. Yeah. So that starts of printing reports. I have guys printing mass reports for like application, seeding, yield. We can also create reports on machines, stuff like that. View different sub layers. If you have a question or want to sit down and do this, don't be afraid to reach out. But we also, in December, we're going to focus on machine data. But in here, I was just going to show you guys that you can build reports on machines and look at different statistics. So if you are wanting to, you are curious and you want to play around with it, you can definitely look in here. So what I like to just look at is your idle time versus working. You can see what's going, like different statistics. I like numbers, so you can just see what's going on. It's kind of cool if you have multiple machines. Just view and see what's going on with them. So, but yeah, COP in December, we'll be talking more and diving into this a lot more. So we talked about viewing our reports. We're looking at yield, and you're like, I think this did better, or my skill tickets actually said this number. Well, we can do post calibration in field ops. So we'll go to the activities page, top left corner. We'll change this to harvest tracking, and we'll click the plus on the bottom. So this is the fun thing. We'll go through here. We'll add the crop. Then we will go in here and select a field. And then we'll select a storage destination. So the storage destination is huge. It will not let you post calibrate if you don't have this. So if you have any questions how to create this, don't be afraid to ask. Hopefully in a little bit, I can show you guys how to do that. And then we'll add like our weight load for the field. So we'll just add what the ticket said. Select what you need. If you have your moisture, you could do that, and then you'll save it. So once it is saved, it will pop up right here. And then you can go back to that field and post calibrate. So go to Alex. We'll select on the field and then click post calibrate. This can take anywhere from like 10-15 minutes, a couple hours, depending on how many you're doing and then like how dramatic the change is. So post calibration is good if your combine was off, if you did not have good calibrations to start off with, or if you just want to get your yield data a little tidier and clean up. So this is one way to do it. So also you can go into the activities tab as well. Go to operations, and if we do need to clean up yield data, if the dates are off, something's on there, we can go in here and change things around if we need to. You will not be able to change like the measurements in here or a couple other things, but you can change like the dates and stuff like that. So then, moving on, I talked about adding the storage bin. So anyway, we go to the gear, we go to fields. Oh, not fields, the company. Yes, so set up the gear company, then we go to buildings, and this is how we add it. This year I've been just calling it 2025 PostCal and just making it that a generic name for it. But if you want to, you can actually put in each of your grain bins and where that grain went to. This is your data. This is what you can do. Like you just run as far as you want with this. So then you just drop a pin where it's at and you go from there. So moving on, let's talk about the Field Ops app. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, so in the Field Ops app, you are able to access your linked accounts. So right down here is where you would click for your linked accounts. But once you get there, you push back. Doop. Well, 1 second. There we go. Um, and then this is where we can see like our equipment, what's going on with this. Um, you can see what's going on with parameters of it. Super handy, especially if you have a fuel guy, DEF guy. They can go and run fuel. We can also go look at our fields, and we can see our latest activities and go in and look into that. So here, we're going to go select one of our farms. So, boop. There we go. So if we click on Alex, we'll be able to see our harvest data and other layers in there. So we can go back on it, look into it, check it out. So with this, if you had questions on seeding, if you had questions on harvest, you're able to do that. Also, what's awesome here is that I can go here, click on the AF9 that's in this account, and I can get directions to it, and I can see the last 24 hours where it's been. If the machine was on, I'd be able to remote display in through my phone, which is super convenient during busy season. Don't have to go find your laptop, sit there. You can just do it through the app and look at it. So that's a little bit about the app. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. It is in the iTunes store or App Store. Usually I just share it in a text message with my customers. So if you want it, just text me, email me your number, and I'll just share it with you. Mhm. Okay, so we talked a bit about the app. In the app, we cannot export data to the machines quite yet, but in field ops we can. So we looked at this, got the data, edit boundaries, move swath lines. Now we're going to get our planter tractor ready, or fall tillage. We'll go to the top right corner, go to export type. So export page has changed from beginning of fall. It does look a little different, but it's nice that you can see like what is out there. So we have Case, New Holland, Raven, John Deere, Trimble that we can export to. And so here we're going to do a Pro 1200, and then we can do send to equipment. You can save it as a setup file. This time I'm not. We can go to select the machine we want to send it to. Next. And then we'll select our growers, farm and fields. So then you can include products, prescriptions, swaths, landmarks, boundaries. If you do have boundaries with waterways, we can do those, and it's super nice for row shutoffs, stuff like that. Include our inner boundaries if you want passable, impassable. and then variety zone crops. So if you were doing variety tracking in your combine, this is where you would type in corn and then soybeans. And then you're ready to go. So when you click next, it gives you a review of the page so you can see the data that you're going to send. If you have multiple fields, you can jump to them. They'll be right here. And once you're done, you push finish and send. That's how we can export out to a Pro 1200. I did mention the Raven. So to be able to export out to Raven, we go to our partnership tabs. Oh, let me jump out of here back to my account. So when we go to our partnership tabs, we have multiple partnerships. We'll be talking about them later in our series or webinar series. But today, you just got to make sure your Raven API is set up, and we can talk about that together. Make sure that's connected. Then we go to export, and then Raven, send to equipment. And then here is where your access key and slingshot is important. And then you can choose the machine you want to send the data to. So with Raven, sending it to your Viper 4, grower farm fields, swaths, boundaries. Products and prescriptions are not supported to send over the air yet. Hopefully that is a key feature coming soon. But as of right now, grower farm fields, boundaries, and swaths. So that is our little take on field ops, what we're doing for post-harvest, going into kind of fall application, fall tillage. Did want to highlight some things with you guys. Oh, we'll just have to click through here. Where's my little present guy? There he is. No, gotta click through. So when we're talking about data transfer and stuff, I wanted to highlight the telematics. We can add a PCM to older machines. Doesn't have to be a machine with a Pro 1200 in it. We can do aftermarket PCMs, and there's currently a good deal going on right now. You got to talk to your precision farming specialist about that. With that, that's just the telematics over the air. The PCM is this little guy right here. We also do have some promotions on 700 pluses and other guidance kits, so don't be afraid to reach out. When I was talking about data earlier, should have probably brought this up then, but when you're moving data from a USB, it's always good to start out your season with a clean USB. If it's older, been used for a couple seasons, I recommend getting a new one. And it's very important to use the correct USB. It's a case one. Should have thrown the part number on here. But at our stores, we do have several on hand at any time. So don't be afraid to reach out, grab a couple new ones, and start your season right, your 2026 season correctly. So we just got out of harvest season, so SIP 360 is new to Vane Welker, but there's a bunch of benefits with that. These benefits are good for 12 months, a full year. You get a 12-month warranty on parts on the dealer installed parts. You have no trip fees if they have to come out because those parts fail. You get an inspection on your full machine by one of our certified technicians. This is a full inspection, and with that, they look at worn parts or things that need service soon. We have labor discounts on that and season job priority. And yes, so that's what SIP 360. And so do we have any questions in our chat? Nope. Okay. We'll give it a couple minutes. If you have any, don't be afraid to reach out. You can also contact me via email or call your local Vane Welker store. So thank you for coming, and you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Oh, thank you. But yeah, have a great Thanksgiving. Don't be afraid to reach out, and we'll see you in December.